Hello, everyone. Welcome to Loca-Love, my comedian crush. So this is the second volume of Front Wings Loca-Love series. The first volume being My Cute Roommate with Hiwa Kojika. So I played that title about 3 to 4 years ago on this channel, and this title was supposed to come out on Steam a few months later, and for some reason it got removed because of questionable content. And Frontwing hasn't attempted to resubmit this title for approval since. So I had to buy this title from another source. And also explains why Frontwing had to really cut down when they brought Yukikoyama out to Steam a few years later. So if you remember, if you buy the default version of Yukikoyama out on Steam, all you get is Tarhi's route. And if you want the other parts of the story, you would have had to download the 18 plus patch. So that's the opening route, prologue, common route, and the routes for the other girls. So Kanen, Shizuri, Yuki, and the short Mitsuhashi route. So also it means that I'm playing the full 18 plus version. So I played ahead to see parts that I need to cut out for this channel. So going to the story. So this volume is somewhat similar to volume 1, where our main character Ichitaro loses his place to stay. So his apartment got flooded. And in volume 1, he gets invited by his cute coworker Hiwa to stay in a room. And if you remember, at first it was uncomfortable and hard for Ichitaro to stay in Hiwa's room. It's girly, it's cute, and it appeared that Hiwa was trying to attract Ichitaro or help him, and the more she does, the more Ichitaro gets sucked in, and he starts to love Hiwa because she's hot and cute, and I want to have a girlfriend just like her. But he's afraid to admit so. And then, if you remember, at the end of the demo version, so episode 4, it was way too unbearable, uncomfortable for Ichitaro to continue staying in Hiwa's place. And he tried to get up and leave. But Hiwa tried everything to convince Ichitaro to stay. And eventually it worked out because it turns out that they both love each other. And that's why he was trying everything she can to attract Ichitaro. So for volume 2, we're going to go to the strange classmate, Nio Aritagawa. And we did see some appearances of her in volume 1. So first, when she alerted Ichitaro that a cute underclassman is looking for you, and that's Hiwa. And then later, when Hiwa and Ichitaro had lunch together in his classroom, Nio was like, hey, don't show off. So let's see how it goes for Ichitaro and Nio. So FYI, I did take out the audio, so like volume 1 with Hiwa, I'll be using custom music for this visual novel. So let's start.
始めるの？そう。自分でもバカみたいだとは思うけど、子供みたいだと思わないでもないけど、それでも胸はときめいた。もし本当にって、頬が熱くなるほどに。
Okay, so that was a similar introduction to what we've seen in volume 1. So a little speech from the girl. And there she is again. It took me almost until my stop to realize it, but there she is. So who is it? The girl in the next car. So Aritagawa and Nio. Well, I guess, let's see, we'll be on the same train, let's see, home now. Well, at least on the days I don't work at my part-time job. And since she's still here, she must meet her stops this far out as well. So it's my third day of taking the train home from school. And what used to be a simple 10-minute trip has turned into an hour-long slog. And needless to say, I'm already bored of it, but that might actually be a good thing. Why? Well, in that case, I might as well... so be brave, Ichitaro. So he's gonna go and talk to this girl. So I walk into the next car, and in the most natural, nonchalant voice I can muster, and then the train suddenly shudders. I instinctively brace myself. An old lady, almost toppled by the force of the jolt, falls towards me, and I grab a hold of her.
あらあら、ありがとうございますね。
Well, thank you very much, young man. No problem. Are you alright?
はい、おかげさまで。それじゃあね。
She bows to me and heads towards to the next car. So is she going to the restroom? Well, the line is long, and the stations are far apart, so all the trains have one. Well, maybe I should have at least walked her to the door. Well, then again, she would have to line up anyways, and that would be the more strenuous part of going to the restroom. But anyways, he goes to this girl. That's right. So I came here to talk to this girl. And did she see what just happened? Well, I'm immediately overcome with intense embarrassment. I just can't give up now and leave without talking to her, though, right? Hello? Hi?
何?
And she gives a really cold response. What is it? She welcomes my greeting with a suspicious side eye. Man, she really is beautiful. Well, I've never really seen her, this close up before, only from across the classroom.
なんで葵がいるの?
Okay, good. So at least she knows my name. So she knows who I am. And spurred on by this, I keep the conversation going. I just started taking it a few days ago, and I'll be taking this to school from now on. Or this line. Well, you always take the same train from the morning, don't you, Aritagawa-san? Yes, and? So what about it? Well, I see you here this morning and yesterday as well. It looks like we'll be on the same train home as well, at least when I don't have to work.
で?
So, and what? Well, I don't think anybody in our class will be taking this route to school, especially since it's an hour each way. So I thought I might as well talk to you.
向こう、戻って。
Not interested, so go back to the other car. That's a really cold response.
近づいてこないで。
And with those curt words, Aritagawa-san turns her gaze back to the scenery beyond the window glass and ignores me completely. That was blunt. Okay. I get it. Sorry, I understand. And I smile bitterly as I trudge back to the other car with a cold sweat on my brow. Okay, so I guess I should have expected that from the infamous Aritagawa-san. I just thought this might be a chance to get to know her a little bit more. Well, I should have known it would not be that easy. And then the train thuds monotonously down the tracks. And it chugs cantankerously across the countryside as if grumbling for each and every mile it must carry us. And aboard, the two of us head in the same direction from the same starting point. But it looks like we'll be getting off at different stops. And let's not think of it for now. Well, I'm sure I'll have plenty more opportunities like today to talk to that lady. Okay, so that was not a very long prologue. So we're at the opening, and you can already see that it's going to be a lot more difficult to win Nio as opposed to Hiwa in Volume 1. So let's see how it goes after the opening video. So hold on for a minute. Okay, so I'm back from the opening video, and in short, Ichitaro is off to a bad start. So I'm not sure why Nio's considered the mysterious classmate, but I'm guessing it's kind of similar to Yogiri from Pure Girl. So remember, Yogiri sits far away from the other classmates in the dark corner of the classroom, and when Satoru went to talk to her at lunch, Yogiri was upset and she threatened to throw Satoru out the window. But anyways, I'm going too far, so let's see how it goes here. So she's always just sitting there with her chin propped up on one hand. Okay? Oh, so we're in class now.
有田川さん、今日なんだけどよかったら話しかけないで。ごめんね。
So she's the same as always today. So blunt and so standoffish. But despite this, she's still the center of attention.
やっぱり有田川さんは違うよな。ああいうこと付き合えたら鼻高えだろうな。
So she's such a beauty and I want to go out with her, but well, she's not just noticeable. It's like people can't help but be drawn to her presence. Well, obviously, she is beautiful. She's a completely different aura from the other girls in my class, and I doubt you will find another girl like her in the whole school, in fact. So her grades and her athletic performance are near the best in the year, and on top of that, her family's supposed to be, incredibly rich. Man, so that kind of girl is completely out of my league. And we may be sitting in the same classroom, but it feels like she's in an entirely different world than me. And that's exactly why I'm fascinated by her. Well, why I want to get closer to her. Well, if you saw a girl like that on the train, you couldn't resist, could you? Especially if it was at the far end of a little local line in a deserted car. So maybe just Ichitaro and Nio alone in the train car. well, you at least have to try talking to her, right? And even if you never said a single word to her before, you still take a chance. Well, at least that's what I thought yesterday.
何何葵有田川さん
So, hey, what's going on? So you're spacing out. Well, I thought that if we were dating or riding the same train, that might count for something. Huh? Wait. So, it looks like Ichitaro is revealing secrets. So this is something that's kept secret from his friend, because it's going to generate a lot of unwanted comments. So anyways, it's natural for a guy to dream, even if it's about a completely, let's see, aloof girl. And on the other side, I wonder what Nio Aritagawa is thinking about. So he's panting for some interesting reason. And I can't tell from the look in her eyes that talking to her again would only end up in her getting mad at me like before. And if only I could find some kind of opportunity to get closer to her. But anyways, it looks like it's time for work for Ichitaro, so he's at the bakery with Kojika. So Hiwa from Volume 1. Yeah, it looks like we're getting a lot of repeat customers for our new apple pie. Well, I'm sorry to be cutting down on my shifts right as business starts to pick up, Kojika-san, or Kojika. So at my part-time job after school, I apologize again to my coworker, Kojika Hiwa. Well, don't worry. Well, I'm just really sorry for pushing all the extra work on you. Well, I'm guessing at least the manager approved Ichitaro's time off. Well, I had to suddenly take time off when my house got flooded, and I've caused all kinds of trouble for you since. And it all started last Saturday. Oh, okay, so we get an option to... So I think it's like the first one, Ichitaro discloses the whole story about what happened, whereas the second one, he just gives a brief summary. So let's see what the detailed version is. But I'm sure it's the same as Volume 1. So because my parents are currently aboard or abroad for work, I've been living in an apartment all by myself. But then an old rusted pipe burst somewhere and flooded the whole place. Well, it's just my luck that this would happen to me. And thankfully, I was not hurt, and my landlord offered to remodel the building during the repairs by a way of apology. And that meant, however, that I be forced out of my place during the renovation. So I hurriedly rang my parents, and luckily, they were able to quickly convince some relatives to let me stay with them. But all the commotion meant that I had to take the day off from work. And my relative's house is a little over an hour away from school by train, and that means unfortunately I'm not able to fit as many shifts at work as I could have. So I understand your troubles, so you don't have to apologize. So things happen, well, even though she's the one I'm, foisting my work onto, Kojika still sweetly forgives me. There you go. Well, Kojika? She really is such a nice girl, and she's so cute, and she's got a nice body as well. And it makes me want to be more considerate of her. Hey, so something wrong?
朝早い時は先日その
Okay, so let's see. Okay.
あらかじめですとか
We could have probably found somewhere else, I guess. Well, I say that, but when she glares at me suddenly like this, I feel like I can't let my guard down around her. And there's something about the way she looks at me that puts me on the edge. And the way she normally smiles so sweetly somehow makes it even more scary. Well, hopefully it's not something sinister that Kojika is thinking about behind Ichitaro's back. Okay, so have a nice evening. And thus ends another day of work. Instead of heading straight to the station, I make my way towards the shrine. So the head priest said I should come around after work. Why? And while I'm at it, I do feel like offering my prayers to the gods. Well, after all, my little flooding disaster did happen pretty much right after I went to the shrine, but I forgot to actually pray. Well, maybe it's too late at this time, so the damage already happened, and if you go give prayers now, well, then again,
通学時間が増えてしまった分、勉強時間にしわ寄せがいってしまっているのではないのかね。
well, it's better late than never. So anyways, okay, so the priest is like, well, I hope it doesn't inconvenience you so much that you lose study time. Well, as expected, when I finish my prayers and go see the head priest, I get a lecture. So, okay, be careful and watch your schedule. If it does become too inconvenient for you, you should start looking at alternative plans. No, not at all. I'm making sure to catch up in my free time, you know.
ならば良いんが。そもそも一太郎くん、真っ先に私に連絡してくれていればなお良かったのだ。
So what could he have offered? Well, I knew he would say that. Well, he is, after all, acting as my guardian and the guarantor on my apartment while my parents are abroad. And my family have been parishioners of this shrine for generations, so we're pretty close to Yachio's family. And I really should have made him the first person I called when my apartment was ruined, but...
そうすれば、うちに居候してもらって。
Okay. Oh, well, I couldn't have been a burden on you like that. Well, I'll get going now, so... well, that was exactly how I expected that to go.
うちに居候すればよかったのにっていう話
And we see Yachio. So after my conversation with the head priest finishes, Yachio pops her head around the corner. So Shizuki Yachio is the daughter of the head priest and an old childhood friend of mine. And ever since we were young, we had the same routine, and whenever I spend time in the shrine courtyard, she accompanies me and... let's see. Oh, so we chat.
一太郎くん、それはちょっとごめんだったんだ。
So you seem skeptical. Well, you know, your father is, so he's strict and uptight, and living here with him would be suffocating. Oh, so, well, I guess I shouldn't be saying that to the daughter.
正解だったと思うけどね。うち、今忙しいし。
Well, you know, we're also busy here as well.
一太郎くんが居候することになったら、働き手が増えて助かったのにとかもあっただろうし、お父さん。
Well, now I'm really glad I didn't come to him first. Well, I even take 6 times the commute in the morning, or over being slave driven by the strict old priest. So, are you really that busy around here though?
最近は取材とかも増えてきちゃってるから。
Oh, so charm?
うん。破局のご利益の評判で。
Yep, so the charm of misfortune. Yachio swallows a couple or a complex expression etched on her face. And it makes me feel a little guilty to have sidestepped coming to live here. And so, does that mean your father's ready to accept what everyone else is saying about the charm? Well, I am a little surprised that stubborn old priest is actually okay with it.
当初のスタンスは一貫して、神様はきっかけをお与えくださるだけ。大事なのは本人の心がけっていうものだから。
Well, the problem is that if the charms do cause misfortune, it's pretty much impossible to blame it on the shrine. So it might be something else. And the only thing that they could do is just to, well, maybe hope for the best. Well, I'm sorry, so I don't really get that.
それは私もだけど。
But then again, that's kind of complicated. It's supernatural, religious, and it's just hard to explain. But then again, you're the priestess here, right?
とにかく破局はあくまでも本人が望んだ結果ということです。
Well, then again, so the misfortune, so that's the outcome that the person wished for. Wait, which means, so someone carrying a charm gets dumped, then they actually really want the relationship to end, and the charm simply gave them an opportunity that allowed it to happen. Wait, is that right? And it's like it lets you take the action you need when you made a decision. Well, if that's the case, well, I suppose the charms really aren't such a scary thing then. So maybe there is a silver lining to all this. Well, previously, I only thought about how having one would prevent me from getting a girlfriend. But if it depends on the person holding it, it could bring misfortune, but it could also give them the happiness that they truly desire as well. Now you're making it complicated for me to understand.
ならやっぱりいる？
So do you want one then? So maybe if you use it properly, maybe something good will happen to you. The gods merely present opportunities. Opportunities. So I think Ichitaro's wondering, so if I get a charm from this shrine, maybe it'll allow me to eventually get closer to the unapproachable Nio Aritagawa. And as I think about the word, an image flashes across my mind. There you go. So, the face of Aritagawa-san. Well, I suppose I could. I may as well. And I answer almost without thinking. And Yachio stares at me with a cryptic expression. So do you want it or no?
結局信じたいように信じるなんだね。
So you are trying to, or maybe like, you believe what you want to believe, so some kind of bias. Well, I don't really believe in that kind of stuff. I just, well, it sounds like he does. He's just trying to cover up. I'm suddenly overcome with a burning embarrassment. But then again, that didn't stop me from taking the charm home in the end, though. Okay, so he wants to try. It's like, well, I'm gonna use this to see if I can get closer to Nio. As embarrassing as that is. Well, being a teenage boy is tough sometimes. Okay, so it is interesting that Ichitaro readily accepted the luck charm. So if you remember from Volume 1, Ichitaro was blaming the luck charm for causing him to lose his place to stay, so the flooding in the apartment. And he was also skeptical about the charm, so it's famously known as the charm of misfortune. But here it's like, well, it depends on the user. So if I use it correctly, it might allow me to get closer to the unapproachable Aritagawa Nio. So let's see how it goes, and if the luck charm does do its charm. So Ichitaro's like, it's not like this really matters much, but I guess I'll put it here for now. And despite my scoffing at it, I tuck the charm inside the pass case I've just scanned through the ticket gates. So now for another exciting hour on the train. And if I could spend it talking to Aritagawa-san, I bet it would just fly by. Well, I can't dream about all that I want, which probably got home hours ago. And I flinch a little when I realize how quickly my thoughts jumped to her. And even if she was around at this time, so I tried to talk to her, it would end up exactly how it did before. So she would turn him away again. Wait a minute. So what's going on? And something catches my eye. So what is it? And on a whim, I turn on my heels. A little way off, in the distance, is a bench. And around it is clustered a group of people.
助けた方がいいんじゃね？
でもなんか巻き込まれるのごめんだし。
So wait, it looks like someone needs help, or this person passed out.
とりあえず動画。
Or hey, she's in a very interesting pose. So how about some videos? It looks like they're crowding around someone light on the bench. So, that person is probably drunk or something, or maybe...
動かないからつまんない。これじゃバズれなくない？
Well, this is going to make a boring video, so let's just give up.
もういいや。行こう。
Okay, I give up.
ま、そのうち誰か助けるだろうしな。俺ら別に一緒。
And then the group wanders off dissatisfied. So, at least not moving, that's enough to ward off or basically push away all those rubberneckers. And when I finally get a clear view of the slumped figure on the bench, wait a minute. I instantly realize who it is. Wait, so Aritagawa-san, I apologize about the boxes covering her. So I rushed past the dispersing crowd toward her. Well, I knew it. As soon as I set my eyes on her, that something is wrong. And her face is flush deep red, and her expression is pained. Well, she's not just lying down on the bench for nothing. So what happened? Oh, so she slumped over like a rag doll. So she passed out. And why? It looks like she's so ill that she can't even stand up. But she looked so normal at lunch though. So that was what she looked like. Wait, so what if she wasn't just annoyed at being talked to in class earlier? Well, this is not the time to be thinking about this, so I gotta help her somehow. So he tries to get her up. I shake her by the shoulders as I call her name. Whoa, so I can even feel the heat of her fever through her uniform. No wonder she collapsed. Wait, so Aoi? Oh yeah, it's me. So are you okay, Aritagawa-san? I can hear the snickers of the group of good-for-nothings from before as I shout. And my own face burns as red as hers, not from embarrassment, but from anger. Wait, so you jerks must not give a damn about her, but I just can't leave her like this, so I gotta help her somehow. So she is sick, and she obviously needs help. And even if it was not Aritagawa-san, I couldn't just leave someone lying on a bench like this. Okay, so we need to get you to the hospital, so can you stand up? Wait, hospital? So I think it's like, well, my illness is not that bad, so I don't need to go to the hospital. I just need... Or I don't think she realizes that she's sick. Her face contorts in a mix of anguish and confusion. So wait, why hospital? Wait, so what do you mean? Why? So there you go. I don't need anything like that. I'm fine. See? Well, I can't just leave you here, so you're in pain, right? Well, having a fever is not taking a break, or it's more than a break. And if she's slumped over like this, it doesn't look normal, and it does not look like a break at all. Hang on, so you haven't been here since school got out, have you? Or you've been here since school got out? Now, I'm really not letting you stay here, so come on. So we're going to the hospital. Wait, so what is it? So what's she trying to say? It looks like her mind is becoming clouded, probably because of the fever. So everyone's been treating you like those punks did before, huh? Well, even I know it might not be my place to do this. But I've been caught up in enough trouble lately myself that I can't just ignore it. But for Aoi... Okay, I know, so Chivalry's dead. But I don't care about that, so I can't leave you here. So I gotta help you somehow. So can Ichitaro lift Nio to the hospital? And I'm not sure how far the hospital is. I hope it's not like maybe a mile away. But anyways, with that, Aritagawa-san finally rises from the bench. Though she doesn't look particularly happy about finally being roused. Okay, so let's go. So I'm sure there is a little clinic somewhere back down the road towards school. So I'll take you there. Well, I prefer going to my family doctor, so he knows me better and will understand my illness better. Wait, you're home?
下りホームに折り返しの電車が参ります。
And at the right time, the train is about to arrive. So right at the moment, a train announcement comes over the PA.
昔からお母さんもおばあちゃんも見てきてもらってるお医者さんだからそこ以外いや
So I trust this doctor because this is the same person that's treated my mother and my grandmother. So, is this the kind of doctor rich people have? It looks like she's dead set on getting on this train no matter what. But I can't just let her get on alone in this state. So in that case... So I think he's going to bring Aritagawa-san to the doctor. So the doctor that she wants. I grab a hold of her from the side and prop her up.
何するの
Well, if you're really going to take this train, I'm going to send you home. So we're going the same way after all. There you go. So come on. So hold on to me. I take her arms somewhat forcefully and make her grab mine. And I'm sure that if she was her usual self, she would instantly throw me off. But now...
葵ってそういえば朝も
Well, anyways, so come on, let's go. Okay then, says Aritagawa-san. Right now, she's not even trying to resist. And that tells me all I need to know about how she actually is. So her station is 2 stops further along the line from where I'm staying. And that was all I managed to get out of her before she dozed off again. Dozed off, that is. So with her head against my shoulder. However, looking at her exhausted face reminds me that this is not exactly the time to think about the potential benefits of this situation. And I just sit completely still and don't utter a word for the next hour in order to avoid waking her up. And when we arrive at her station, I take her arm again and lead her home. And her family flies into a panic, but they're incredibly grateful of me, so at least you're able to bring her safely home. And I hand over a dazed and swaying Aritagawa-san and go on my way, but inwardly I'm more than a little surprised. So all the rumors at school paint her as some rich girl from a big shot family, but the place I dropped her off is nothing but a small beat-up house. Okay. Morning, 2 days later. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here for this episode. And there's quite a lot that happened just in this episode alone. So first, we got to see the similarities and differences with how Ichitaro accepted the luck charm from Yachiyo, and also how he found a place to stay after his apartment was closed for repairs. And also, so I'm pretty sure the incident at the end of this episode, that was the result of his luck charm. So in short, it was a way for the gods to bring him closer to Aritagawa Nio, but they did so in a not so pleasant way. So he found Aritagawa Nio slumped over on a bench at the train platform with a high fever, and he had to help carry her home to the family where they will take her to the doctor of their choice. So now that this has happened, I wonder how Aritagawa Nio will treat Ichitaro compared to the beginning in the prologue where she just turned him away. So I guess that's something for me to find out next time.